Hello, this is a short video on a potential master's project that I'm looking for a student to work on. So this project is a longitudinal survey data analysis project, and it's within the context of resilience, the theories of resilience in education, and it's around the disruption that's caused by the COVID-19 epidemic in the spring, the onset of it. So it's actually a comparison between two state universities, Cal State LA and Cal Poly. And my name is Liz Thompson, and I am also working with a faculty member at Cal State LA on this project. So what we did on this project is we launched a survey in April, and then we did it every two weeks through August. And that's the longitudinal part. And we asked survey questions related to the Resilience Framework. So this is a simple look at the Resiliency Framework that we're using, and I have a lot of research related to this, and I'll be able to share that with you. There's a NSF grant we use that we delved into resiliency. So the idea of resiliency is there's an acute event, and then there's ongoing recovery over time, and that both of those things are related to the resiliency. So you can see in this red box, this is what we're looking at in this particular project, is we have a bunch of data related to how people felt over time, and we want to analyze that data. So what we did is we have the first round of looking at the data, and this is just a really good comparison of the differences in the two universities. Cal Poly, if you can see in the first bar chart, it shows that it's quite a bit more white than Cal State LA. Cal State LA has a lot of Latinx students, so it's definitely a much more diverse university. They're about the same size, the university. The College of Engineering at Cal State LA is about half the size of Cal Poly, and I have a lot of data to compare that also. And then if we just look at the gender of respondents, Cal Poly had more females, but in generally there's a higher percentage of females at Cal Poly than there is at Cal State LA too. So what we did is we asked students to look at how they felt right before the pandemic and then 1 month after this disruption. And this is just an example of some of the data we saw. So the green bars are for Cal Poly and the yellow is for Cal State LA. So you can look at instructional effectiveness. It actually dropped quite a bit, which is understandable, but it dropped about equally between the two universities. You look at engagement, it dropped also a bit equally in the two universities, although Cal State LA was a little bit more engaged than Cal Poly 1 month after the pandemic hit. And then looking at instructor flexibility, this was kind of interesting that before the pandemic, Cal State LA thought their instructors were quite flexible, but after that flexibility dropped, but in Cal Poly it went the other way, that they thought they were increased flexibility. So this is a little bit pointing to some of the differences that we saw during the first round of data analysis. We also have data related to ongoing. So this is a plot that was made in MATLAB that looks at the 5 cycles and how they changed over time. So this is just an example of finances at Cal State LA, the one that's underneath, and then at Cal Poly. And so what we really want to do is we have this data, but we don't exactly quite know how to analyze it. I found a couple articles about how to analyze longitudinal data and what kind of statistical analysis to use and what kind of methods, but that's part of the challenge of this particular project. Another part of the project is we both looked at faculty and staff too. And this is one of the interesting results we got from the faculty report. So if you remember, we had before the pandemic and after the pandemic. We asked 2 points in time. And you can see that the faculty reported engagement by students fell a little bit, but the black lines are actually the student reported instructor effectiveness. So faculty thought their effectiveness fell, but students thought it fell quite a bit more. And the same thing is true in engagement. Faculty recognized the student engagement was lower, but students actually report a much lower engagement. So it's a little bit interesting, the idea that we have differences in what the faculty see and what the students report. And then looking a little bit at why would you even want to work on this project with me? Well, I think you'll be able to develop some pretty advanced data analysis tool looking at longitudinal survey work. You can work in the context of diversity, inclusion, equity, and access, because part of the thing I'm interested in is actually comparing these two universities that have quite a bit different demographics. You'll also be able to collaborate with faculty from a different institution. At Cal State LA, my colleague Tona is interested in working with us both on this. And then it's an opportunity to publish a paper or two. I think this data analysis will actually be available to be published in a paper. And I hope that explains the project and as we work on it. And let me know if you're interested in.